This is Tru-Alchemy888, that real spiritual shh. Welcome to the show. Okay, so tonight is going to be a serious one and probably a rant. Uh, you know me, but it's going to be some real shh. So grab your notebooks, pens, and papers, and you might learn a little something that's going to help. You definitely will learn a little something that's going to help you on your spiritual journey and how you see something, a different perspective, as we should say. I like how I said we, because it's definitely spirit with me. It took me a couple days to get here as far as talking to the community about this. Now, I'm going to go in and out all the way around, but hopefully you get the message. So, I mentioned before, if you have not, this is the first time you've seen me, welcome. I mentioned before that my son is idol. Hopefully you get it. Let me say it again. Idol. And it they have to he get therapy. um they do have to adjust his medication, but it's supposed to be every 6 months, and it's more often than not. And I was fearful of being my spiritual self, in fear of me saying the wrong things that will lead him to actually take his light out of here. But I found enough strength to actually talk to him. And everything I have been teaching the community, I was able to teach to him, because that's all I can do is say something. I don't want one day when he decides, if he decides to take his light away from this world, for me to be like, I should have said, so I'm going to say it. I did have fears as far as me directing him, even though I personally feel like he shouldn't be on that medication because it's not helping, directing him to stop taking his medication. So I let him know that I'm not saying not to take your medication. It has to resonate with you, but let's talk. And while I was talking to him for an hour and a half straight, I hit on every point that he needed to know. Like, he just let me rant because I am his mom. So that's what I normally do. So he let me just go in. Like, I hit the relationship portion. I hit every portion. I hit me apologizing to him, the fact that I can be the best mom I could be because I raised him under the umbrella of depression. I was in my bed raising my kids. And when I was in my bed, I was chasing around a man who didn't deserve my love, let alone my attention. And I was trying to make a family that wasn't there, in a 12-year relationship that didn't belong to me because it belonged to the world. That part. So I apologized to him again about how I raised him. And I let him know that when I knew I was pregnant with him, and I was in a situation where my stepdad and his best cousin that came down was going to pay for my abortion. Listen to me now, my abortion. I was sitting there in my computer class. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, I have to have this boy because he's special. I didn't know how special what he was. And I had to break down to my son that in a different part of the world, they would look at you as a shaman. Very spiritually powerful. My family, or at least this generation, is very spiritually powerful. I don't know about my brother, but my little sister was a not deaconess, but she used to give predictions as a Christian. They trust the Christian church trust her enough to give other people predictions. And her predictions came true. It didn't come true exactly when she felt them, but maybe a year or two later, definitely came true, down to the T. Even to the point where when she mentioned who I was as a person, as far as a practicing witch, I was going against it because that's what I learned. So I had to break that down to him. I broke down everything I've been teaching him or practicing with the community in hopes to help him. So I'm gonna go through a couple of things that we talked about, we mentioned, because my son, I forgot the word for it, but he experienced something where you hear voices and his voices are dark voices. I question everything in a goofy, playful way, but I question everything. And that's how I approach my boys, point blank, period, in a playful, goofy way. So he keeps on telling me, like when I did find out about the voice that was in his head telling him to hurt himself and other people, he was already 18. He was a year away from, moving out. And he moved out, or did he tell me when he was 19? No, he told me when he was 18. That's when I definitely, he had a therapist before, but that's when I really told him to talk to his therapist about it. I made sure my boys had a therapist. Thank you, Obama. That part. You asked what Obama did for us black people. I didn't pay not one copay. Everything was free, and all of my kids had a therapist. Not me, and towards the end, I had a therapist, but still. So he had his own therapist. He gets supposedly the proper medication, but it's not the proper medication. He has questions. He was telling me that he didn't have nothing that he desired to do in life. Like nothing inspired him to be here. And I told him to do a bucket list. I also told him to ask this dark um, entity questions like, why not? It's already telling you to take your light out of this world. Why not ask the questions? Like, why do you like? I don't understand how my son have the strength to actually take himself out of here, but not a strength to live, to try something new. I even mentioned to him the things that he said as a kid, like he likes archery when he was a little kid. Wow, have you did that? Have you tried that? No, you have money. You got 20 something thousand dollars in the bank account. I don't have not 1,000 in the bank account as savings. Like you can actually spend on yourself. My son is so cheap. He's so cheap. He's a cheapskate. But he's able to actually spend on yourself. You don't spend on yourself. You might get a $50, $70 game, maybe a game system when they're out, but you're not really treating yourself. I told my son to date himself as far as pamper himself. Go get a different atmosphere. Go get an Airbnb. Get by a pool. Do something that's special for yourself. Of course, I brought into my life experience how I told him that I heard, but I don't. It's weird how spirit talks to me. It's not me hearing it, it's more of me embodying me. Like I'll say something that I have no idea the meaning of it until I research it, you know, you know, the internet. So that's how spirit embodies me. I don't hear really anything. I heard it one time, and every time I hear, well, I assume since it was one time it happened, when I heard something that I thought it was spirit, it was a lie. So it wasn't spirit. It was the fucking devil, or it was a dark enemy. Because the last time I heard something, they was like, "That's your husband," and then I was in 12 years of a whole fucking lesson. that I don't regret because it brought me to here. It got me to the point where I can help my son. So I'm asking him, why don't you, instead of like this dark entity telling you to take your life out of this world, ask the questions. What is the feedback? I'm pretty sure a therapist is not asking my son to ask these deeper spiritual things of him. Not just that, I'm telling him, talk to a tree or hug a tree, because research, it comes to find out that as while I was researching, that if you talk to a tree or hug a tree, it releases something in your brain that will make you happy. I told him to go, he's living with his grandma now, which doesn't help the situation. Her being a narcissist, and I'm never going to stop saying that because she's never not going to be a narcissist. But then I'm her daughter, and I show traits of it too, my damn self. But in this situation, I was definitely helpful in this situation. I did tell him to, take his shoes off, go walk, talk to. I actually trying to introduce him to our ancestors. I was like, why don't you go talk to our ancestors? Because they helped me through a whole lot in life. So I know damn well they're going to help you. Lately, I just been thanking my ancestors and showing my appreciation to them and not getting on their nerves. So hopefully they have the strength, and which I'm pretty sure they have strength to help my son, who's very powerful. They've been helping me, Lord knows, to just talk to them. And then I told them how to actually get results. Like you're looking for like angel numbers, like you'll 369. He might stop at the 9 point where he gets it. And I say 369, it comes like, okay, as far as the answers, you give universe, spirit, ancestor a question and you want to answer. It will come to you in 3, 6, or 9. If you're hard headed, it's going to come to you in 9. You're not going to get it to 9 habits. And when I say 9, it'd be things like you'll watch a show that has everything to do with what you ask or question the universe or your ancestors or whoever you pray to. Even if you don't believe in God and you believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it will all relate to the question that you put out there. And it'd be 3 different things, 6 different things, or 6 different people, or 3 shows, 3 people add up to 6, things like that. But it will all hit on to the point of whatever question you put out into the universe. So I told him to look for that. I told him to question and confront that dark thought that's in his mind that's telling him to hurt people and or himself. Like, this is how I think, people. And I'm different. We all know this. Why not ask the dark thoughts? So why you don't want us to be here? Like, why you so down on us? Me and you. Because you in my mind telling me to take my light from this world. Why is it so big? Like, because anything that comes to me, I'm talking about me, uplifts me. My spirit uplifts me. Anything that talks to me or uplifts me. Like, for example, couple weeks ago, I was a little depressed, just a little tiny bit depressed over the fact that my favorite person, I'm not my favorite person's favorite person, right? I'm not his body type shit. And I was feeling a little down. And what came to me was, you can make anybody like your body type. Bitch is you. And that's how they said it. Like, make him like your body type. The fuck? On some like, and then I realized who the fuck I was. I was like, actually, that happens in real life. Somebody like, oh, I like this type of woman. I like that type of woman. And then they meet me. And now it's different. They trying to wife me. I'm a different type of character, different type. If you make them laugh, you can get their heart. Point blank, period. Girl, that's for men and women. Point blank, period. If you make them laugh and you can feed them and you can F them, you in there. Point blank, period. And after I'm hearing that, I believe it was hearing that. Yeah, it was hearing that because I wasn't talking to myself at the time. I was just like in my feelings, and that spiritual guidance came to me like, so make him like your body type. Like are you forgetting who you are? And I was like, man, you damn right. And I started posing. I went to the mirror and I was like, we gonna make him love our body type. Like, why are we down about this? He's not talking to us. He's not talking to us. That message is not for us. Type shit. And if I'm thinking, if my spirit can do that, I start talking to my son like this. I was like, ask your the voice in your head, why is it so down on y'all? Because it's y'all too. Why? Ask why. Instead of just listening and telling them to shut up, ask why. Ask these questions and see the outcome of that and write it down. What it said. What it said. Because obviously the medication is not working. And the fact that you're a Christian is not working. If you're only supposed to be on this earth and you're guided to things that resonate with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to follow anybody's rules and guidelines, and you're not supposed to follow the sheep. The fact that you dress different, act different, look at the world differently, got ADHD, all that, whatever. They don't know they don't know what that means in a different part of the country. They don't have that. They look at you as something spiritual and something magical, as I did. That's why I decided to give birth to you. That's why I refuse to abort you type situation. And I had to resonate with the fact or realize the fact that maybe one day he decides not to wake up as I decide to wake up. And then I have to deal with the fact. That's why I say everything I need to say to him now. I had to deal with the fact that not this world can overcome the strongest spiritual soldier, which I definitely believe my son to be the strongest spiritual soldier out here. And he can do so many beautiful, magical things. I even brought up the movie, what's it, Percy in, I forgot matter of fact, he remembered the movie and he told me the name of the movie and everything. So that means he was definitely listening to what I had to say when I was ranting for an hour and a half. Percy Jackson, that movie, and the fact that he was known to be autistic. Is it artistic? He was known to be something. And he basically couldn't, he was a kind of illiterate and he couldn't read in reality, but when it comes to the spiritual realm, he can read spiritual language. And I was like, all these things that we can, they say that we are ADHD, that can be a spiritual power that we didn't tap into or we don't know how to use. So why would you want to be like everybody else? Why do you want to be normal? You should celebrate the fact that you are fucking weird and or different and or special, because you are. You're special. I'm special. And my little sister is special. We're a special Pisces bunch. Well, he's not even a Pisces. He's born in September. But me, her is special. I don't know about my brother. He's just a whore. Regular Pisces male. That's neither here nor there. But as I'm talking to my son, I'm still not just apologizing to him for my part in it, on how I was as a parent, just mainly depressed myself, and the only time I got up is to feed them until he got of age, and I made him feed his siblings, which that was wrong. And the fact I kept him so sheltered in, and I was scared to let him out in life, because when I experienced life, it was already rough as a kid. Like, I saw my son, not my son, I saw my little brother have a cigarette put out the back of his neck, and all we was doing was playing right in front of the house. That's how Camden, New Jersey was. Like, just a lot of hate for no apparent reason. And I just kept him sheltered when I was out there. And now he's still in our hometown living with my mother, who's a narcissist. And if you're not a Christian, she kind of shuns you. Because one of my sons don't practice Christianity. The one that looked like me don't practice Christianity. He's a Muslim by choice, and she don't want nothing to do with him because he don't believe in the same God she believes in. That craziness. And that's why I'm hearing and down south trying to move out of state. Like, this is a baby step. So I'm sitting here giving my son like little things he can do. I don't know if he's still a virgin or not. I didn't ask. It's none of my business. When he left my house, he was. And I know there's certain things, since I've been depressed, there's certain things that would help you. One, the fact that I had kids helped me, because then I had something to live for. So I told him to get a pet, a ferret or a rabbit, or any pet that he relates to, that his grandma, because now he's living back with his grandma to save money. That his grandma let him have. And I know those type of things, she is more likely for her to be okay. Uh, I I know if he was taking care of something, he'll rethink that. I told him every time he thinks about harming himself, just put a bucket list of things he never did before that he desires to do. Also, when it comes to women, his first girlfriend was Agent Ascent. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of his mama and his dad, because his dad just want to leech off him and, apartment where everything is his name, and live with his son, and, use his son's car and everything like that, all that weird stuff. So, me being in tune with my masculinity, I'm telling him, why don't you pick up a second language? Because in China, they're looking for black men, but you have to realize that these women are not very sexually educated. So you're easily or quicker to get burned out there. You looking for a girlfriend. You already had an Asian girlfriend for 2 to 3 years. The family was a little racist, but still kind of let you in type thing, because they was already in America, so nobody had to know type thing. I never met them personally. I'm not interested in meeting my son's girlfriends for one purpose. Don't you ever call me mom type situation going on. That's your choice, but I want you to make your choice wisely. But I don't need to know about your personal choice when it comes to dating. That's none of my business. That's how I look at it. So I never met their parents. I was just going by what my son said, and it was like a 3-year relationship. When he broke up, he come to me, always come to me and actually open up when it comes to their heart and emotional stuff. It never come to me about anything sexual. So if they did not leave my house as virgin, to this day, the boys that I raised, I never knew. I never knew. And hopefully never will know until it's too late, like on my deathbed. And then I'm like, but other than that, I'm sitting there telling him things that can help him to look at life a different way, or give life a different perception, because he's losing his taste for life, because he's protected, and he's and just coming home from work and just playing a game. I was like, how about you start getting on these dating apps? This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do as far as protecting yourself. Always wear a condom. Always take your condom with you. And then I started sending him videos online where people or men have been to, because I mentioned China is actually asking for black men to come down here and, you know, and get women pregnant in order to get a $7,000 or whatever it is in China to live, and that would actually kill two birds in one stone. That would actually kill the dating situation with him, and him worry about working so much. So I'm giving him just all the advice I can give him, realizing that there could be a day where um, he decides still not to be here and still will have enough courage to take his life away, but never have enough courage to live life. And that's how I put it to him. I was like, you should have more courage to live life than to take your life out of here, because that's not what you're here for. You're supposed to experience life. Let that be God's problem when you go. I didn't even say higher self. And that's what I truly believe, which we all are gods. Don't do it by your own hands. Don't do it because a voice said in your head. And talk to that voice and understand and wonder why that voice hates itself in you. But it's a part of you. Because even my dark side that protects me, that will burn everything and everyone down to protect me, because my life will sacrifice me. The light side of me, or the godly angel side of me, will sacrifice me for the universe, and my dark side will burn the universe down just for me. Would never want to take us out of here. Would still want to experience life, to which a motherfucker would, so it can show its dark side, so it can act a fool. Like, I respect my darkness as well as my light. And I don't want my son to not respect this darkness, but its darkness shouldn't be talking to him like that, point blank period. It should not be trying to get him to go to jail and or hurt his family members because they tell him to clean up his room. And knowing that your mom got OCD, that's when he decided to tell me that, hey, I hear voices and they be telling me to hurt you. The first time he told me, and I'm like, over the fact I like my house to be clean, and I ask you to clean up your room. And at the time I wasn't spiritually where I was then to be like asking these questions, to ask him to ask his dark side these questions and write it down, so we can get an idea of how to control the situation, or for him to have a tool to control the situation. Because if it's part of you, if it's really part of you, it's only going to stand where you stand. So that means no more my my chemical romance. I love my chemical romance. When I played it, because I was in my depressed state, he, he started listening to it. No more things that's going to put you in a state of mind of darkness and hurting yourself. Now you need to listen to something to inspires you to be the king you are, the guy you are, the chief you are. So I start sending him little music clips on that of things to uplift him, and for him to let him know that it's okay to start asking questions about your spirituality, about where you at. Not just that, it's okay to treat yourself, date yourself. There's things you want to do, go hatchet throwing. What you want to move to certain, Go get your gun license. Go put things on your bucket list that will inspire you to do it by yourself, because I put you in a situation when I was protecting you where I did everything for you until it was time for you to move out. Then I'll allow you to pay a bill and give me like $50 of your paycheck, and was it $100 of your paycheck, and $50 went to a bank account that you was able to get when you left my house towards your housing in your apartment for savings. It was a lot. Like I was able, because I talk fast, and my boys know this, so they learn to listen fast, quicker. So within an hour and a half, I was like, babe, do you have anything to tell me or ask me about? He's like, Ashley, you hit everything that I'm going through. And I didn't know you went through it. Because there was times when I used to walk in high school, and you could not tell me not everybody was talking about me or laughing about me. If they laughed and they could have been like 3 rooms over, you can't tell me they wasn't talking about me. And that was my darkness. So I was like, your darkness, I started with manifesting. I mentioned about manifesting. If you keep on thinking that it's no good that's going to come to your life, energy is energy. So it's going to continue to give you that, because that's what you're feeding the universe and or God, and or because he believes in Jesus, and or, Jesus. That's what you're feeding. So that's all that you're going to get in this world. You need to start upgrading your music to something more powerful, to recognize your power. When that dark entity and or spirit start talking to you, talk back. Why you dislike us? Why you want me to this? Like you try and build me up to take my light out of this world, but you can't build me up to get on a plane and jump out of a plane or go surfboarding or something I never did. You don't build me up for that. I need to shut the fuck up. Instead of just telling him, because he kept on saying, I just tell him to shut up. No, start getting to your dark self psyche. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, you didn't get enough hugs. Like, do you want me to spiritually hug you? Because you seem like you need love. Because you making me or forcing me to not want to be here when I have so much to live for. And at the end of the day, regardless of the future and how this is going to all play out, I know I said and did what I needed to do, and I celebrated my as I should. And that's what's important. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with personally. And after that, I'm gonna go back to smiling, laughing, and trying to find a way, not even trying, finding a way to smile through all of the pain. Because I'm not going to sit there and be depressed on something that haven't happened. I'm gonna celebrate every single day. My son is breathing. I am breathing. All my boys is breathing. I still have food in the refrigerator. My boys still got food in the refrigerator. I'm not a grandma. Yes, I'm going to celebrate that part too. And the fact that I have my blessings, they have their blessings. I'm going to celebrate that. And then I worry about the painful things later instead of having fear of it. And I did mention to him, like, he got to confront his fears instead of depending on his grandma or depending on me to do it for him. I've been stopped doing it for him, but I didn't know his grandma picked up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Instead of his grandma, that he's going to learn to do it for himself and just be codependent on himself and know he got this, and take that little bit of money or that, instead of just saving it, do something special for yourself. What, you like anime? I'm pretty sure there's a conference somewhere that's full of anime. Get in your best anime costume and go, bruh. What you tree you want to climb? Just go climb a tree. Do things you want to do in this life. Celebrate this life. Celebrate your moment instead of regretting it. Because every time you regret it, you're manifesting more pain. Try to smile through the pain, and you can manifest so much more happiness in your life. You don't have money problems. Your mama got money problems. Your daddy damn sure got money problems. But what you don't have is money problems. You have problems with being okay with the fact that you're different from everybody in this world. But it's not just you. Your mama different. Your auntie different. Everybody different in this family. Because we're a different breed. We don't even know where we come from. But whatever we come from is very powerful spiritually. Like, as far as I went is Haiti. As far as I got all the way down to Haiti. I'm a higher percentage in Haiti than anything. But that's my spiritual outlook, and that's what I've been going through this week. Now, don't be mad if you see me shaking my butt and dancing and trying to uplift my spirits, because that's what I'm here to do. That is my job. And I'm not going to stop because there's a family emergency. I can just do what I can do with that situation, but I am going to smile through the fire and pain, which is this world, and the confusion and the misunderstanding of me and my family. But you should never want to be strong in order to take yourself out of here. Like, I tried it before twice. One, I'm not going to lie, is for attention, because I was in a 12-year relationship and I needed his attention. And I was like, if I take myself out of here, the fact that I'm not here will be on his heart, not thinking about my kids or anything. Very selfish of me. The second was an accident, but I wouldn't mind going, and I had to get my stomach pumped because I took too much medication. Oh, no. Okay. So yeah, it was only twice. It was only twice, and I felt miserably because I needed to be here to try to save my son and try to save whoever I can save as far as humanity. But just giving y'all a different perception, and this is what I'm going through now. Either way, I'm gonna find a way to be happy, find a way to smile, find a way to love, because as long as I'm here, I'm going to experience and live life as I should supposed to. Even if, God forbid, I'm not able to save my son, I might be able to save somebody out there. So y'all have a wonderful night. Be blessed, and don't be shocked if you see me smiling, trying to laugh, trying to play around with y'all. In the next video, try to dance and uplift my spirits. Because in the background, I'm still texting my son and like, that you're king, you're God. You didn't realize that. Start asking questions. Start getting out there. Stop being fearful of life and being acceptable to, to build up your strength to take your life out here. Just to dim your light in this world. That don't make any sense to me. This did having a different approach to life. Y'all have a beautiful night. And try to forgive and love those who deserve to be loved, and forgive those who deserve to be forgiven. Yeah, have a wonderful night. Be blessed.